Look at that bunch of bananas sitting on your counter right now. How many days before they go brown on you? 3, 4? And you bought a whole bunch because they were on sale? Or because you meant to eat them every morning with breakfast and now you're watching the clock on every single one of them? I've thrown away more bananas in my life than I care to count. Brown, soft, spotted all over, good for nothing but banana bread. And I like banana bread just fine, but I don't always want banana bread. Sometimes I just want a banana that holds. So, a few years back, I got serious about it because it bothered me. A banana is not an expensive piece of fruit, but waste is waste and it adds up, and I don't like throwing food away any more than you do. I started paying attention to what was actually making them go fast. And once I understood that, the fixes were plain common sense. Old-fashioned common sense. The kind that farmers and market vendors figured out long before anybody was selling you a special banana keeper for $12. Here's what I know now. A banana doesn't just sit there and wait to go bad. It's actively working against you. The moment that bunch was cut from the tree, it started sending out a signal, a little invisible gas that drifts right out through the stems and tells the fruit to ripen, and to ripen fast. Every banana in the bunch is talking to every other banana, and they're all saying the same thing. Hurry up, go soft, turn brown. That's why a bunch goes faster than you expect. They're not just sitting there aging, they're pushing each other along. And everything warm, bright, or crowded makes it worse. Now that you know what's actually happening, every trick I'm about to show you will make perfect sense. Because they all do one thing: slow that signal down. That's it. That's the whole game. By the way, methods like these, I've got a whole book of them. Every trick I use to run this house for less, written down in one place. It's on my website. Links right below the video. Go grab it. I won't mention it again. Let's start with where you're keeping them. Most of us set bananas on the kitchen counter, usually right next to the fruit bowl with the apples and the pears and whatever else we bought that week. That is just about the worst place they can be, and here's why. Apples, avocados, tomatoes, pears, they all put out that same ripening gas. So your bananas aren't just talking to each other anymore. They're getting hit with it from every direction. You've turned your fruit bowl into a ripening room. Move the bananas away from everything else. Give them their own spot. I keep mine at the far end of my counter, away from the stove, away from the sunny window, away from the bowl of apples. A cool, dim corner. Not cold, just not warm and bright. The side of the kitchen that doesn't get afternoon sun is better than the side that does. Heat and light both push ripening along. That's just how it works. And while we're on the subject of where they sit, stop laying them flat on the counter. Whenever a banana rests against a hard surface, it bruises right at that spot. You can't always see it from the outside right away, but underneath the skin, the flesh has been pressed and damaged, and a bruise speeds things up at that exact spot and starts spreading. It's a small thing, but it matters. What old farmers and old market vendors knew, and what any fruit stand worth its salt still does, is to hang them. You hang the bunch from the stem so the fruit doesn't touch anything. It just hangs there in the air, all the way around. No pressure points, no bruising. The air can get around each banana. I put a plain hook under my cabinet, the kind you can buy for about $1 and screw in yourself in 2 minutes. Hang the bunch from that. That alone buys you extra days over just laying them on the counter. Now, the stem wrap. This is the one most people have heard of but don't actually do, or they do it wrong. Here's the thing about that ripening signal. It comes out mostly through the stems. That's where most of it escapes. So if you slow it down at the stems, you slow down the whole process. You pull the bananas apart from the bunch, separate every single one. Then you take a strip of plastic wrap, just a small piece, and you wrap each little stem end snugly. Not the whole banana, just the stem. Tight enough to seal it off. That's it. That small piece of plastic slows the signal coming out of each banana so it doesn't spread to the rest of them. Now, if you're thinking, why separate them first? Because when they're still bunched together, the stems are touching. That gas is going right from one to the next, no matter what you wrap. Break them apart, wrap each stem, hang them on the hook, and you've done 3 things working together instead of 1 thing working alone. And I want to be honest with you, this is not going to stop ripening. Nothing does that short of a freezer. What it does is slow it down, stretch 4 or 5 days into 7, 8, sometimes more. Enough that you can actually get through the whole bunch before they turn on you. Now, here's the part about the fridge, because there's a wrong way and a right way, and a lot of people get burned by the wrong way. Do not put green bananas in the fridge. If you put them in there before they've ripened properly, the cold stops the ripening completely, and it doesn't just pause it. It can damage the banana so it never ripens right. You'll end up with something starchy and off-tasting that never quite gets where it needs to go. But once your bananas are exactly where you want them, yellow, firm, sweet, that's the moment to put them in the fridge. At that point, the cool temperature slows everything way down. The skin will go dark brown. It might even go nearly black after a few days. Don't be alarmed by that. The skin always darkens in the cold. That's just what cold does to a banana peel. What matters is what's inside. Peel it and you'll find the fruit itself still firm and good. Many people don't know this, and they throw away a perfectly good banana because the outside looks done. So the rule is simple. Ripen on the counter, hold in the fridge. Green on the counter, ripe in the fridge. Never before. Now I want to talk about what to do when you've lost the race. Because it happens. You get busy, you forget about them, and you come back to find the whole bunch has gotten ahead of you. Soft, spotted, starting to smell sweet and heavy. A lot of people throw them away at this point, and that is the one thing I can't stand to see. Don't throw them away. Freeze them. Peel them before you freeze them, because a frozen banana peel is a miserable thing to deal with later. Slice them into rounds, maybe half an inch thick, and lay the slices out in a single layer on a plate or a baking sheet lined with parchment. Put that in the freezer for a couple of hours until they're solid. Then transfer them to a freezer bag. Squeeze the air out and seal it up. You've just stopped that banana cold. It will keep in your freezer for up to 3 months. And frozen banana slices are useful, more useful than a lot of people realize. You can put them straight into a blender for a smoothie without thawing. You can let them thaw and mash them up for banana bread or muffins. You can eat them half frozen on a hot day like a little frozen treat. Nothing wasted. Not a single one. I want to tell you about what a neighbor of mine does, because she's been doing it longer than I have, and she figured out one more piece of the puzzle. She never buys bananas that are already fully yellow. When she goes to the store, she looks for the bunch that still has the most green on it. Not fully green, just showing plenty of green yet. Greenish yellow. Not ready to eat today, but almost. Because that's your head start. The store bought those bananas green, held them, and by the time you see them on the shelf, they're already a good ways through their ripening. If you grab the yellowest ones in the bin, you're buying yourself maybe 2 days at home. If you grab the greenest ones, you're buying yourself 5 or 6 before they're even at peak, and then you've got all the tricks to stretch it from there. She's been buying a full bunch every week and rarely has to throw a single one away. Uses the overripe ones for the freezer, eats the rest when they're right, never in a hurry. That's the system. Let me put it all together so you can walk out and do it today. Buy the greenest bananas you can find. When you get them home, pull the bunch apart, separate every banana. Wrap the stem end of each one with a small piece of plastic wrap, snug. Hang them from a hook away from your other fruit, away from the heat, out of the direct sun. Let them ripen at room temperature. When they're exactly where you want them, move them to the fridge, skin will go dark, fruit inside stays good. And any that get ahead of you before you can eat them, peel them, slice them, freeze them flat, and bag them. Nothing thrown out. Every banana used. You don't need any special equipment for any of this. A hook that costs $1. A little bit of plastic wrap. That's the whole thing. The reason nobody told you this before isn't complicated. There's no money in it. A banana that lasts 3 weeks doesn't get replaced 3 times. Nobody can sell you a subscription to plastic wrap and a 10-cent hook. The people who profit from you not knowing this are the ones selling you special banana bags and Fruit Life spray and little silicone stem covers for $5 a piece. And they're counting on you not stopping to wonder whether any of that is actually necessary. It isn't. What works is what old farmers and fruit stand keepers figured out by paying attention. Keep them cool and dim. Keep them away from other fruit. Give them air. Wrap the stems. Fridge when ripe. Freeze before you lose them. Plain sense, no product required. So tell me in the comments, how long do bananas usually last in your house before they go? And are you a no brown spots person? Or do you wait until they're good and spotty before you eat them? Because people have opinions on that, I know, and I want to hear where you stand. See you next time.